March 1, 2026 Afternoon News Summary, New York Time, covering 12 noon to 6 evening. Don't forget to subscribe before we start, so you don't miss out on the latest international news. News 1, UN Security Council demands Gaza ceasefire. The UN Security Council passed a resolution demanding an immediate ceasefire in Gaza for the month of Ramadan, with the United States abstaining. The resolution calls for the unconditional release of all hostages and urgent humanitarian aid access, marking a significant shift in the diplomatic landscape. News 2, Fed's preferred inflation gauge meets forecast. The U.S. Core PCE price index for February rose 0.3% month-on-month and 2.8% annually, aligning with expectations. The data reinforces the Federal Reserve's patient stance on interest rate cuts, with markets now pricing in a high probability of the first cut in June. News 3, EU approves landmark AI Act, sets global benchmark. The European Parliament formally approved the Comprehensive Artificial Intelligence Act, establishing a risk-based regulatory framework. The law bans certain high-risk applications and sets strict rules for foundational models, positioning the EU as a global standard setter for AI governance. News 4, major oil producers agree to extend output cuts. OPEC Plus members, led by Saudi Arabia and Russia, agreed to extend voluntary oil production cuts of 2.2 million barrels per day through Q2 2026. Brent crude futures rose 2.1% to $84.50 per barrel on the news, which aims to stabilize markets amid demand uncertainty. News 5, Japan intervenes to support weakening yen. The Japanese Ministry of Finance confirmed it conducted yen buying intervention after the currency fell to a 34-year low of 152.50 against the US dollar. The move follows repeated warnings from officials and triggered a sharp reversal, with the US dollar to Japanese yen pair dropping to 149.80. News 6, global tech stocks slide on antitrust concerns. Major US and European technology stocks fell sharply after the EU and UK announced new antitrust investigations into the market dominance of several megacap firms. The Nasdaq 100 index dropped 1.8% in afternoon trading, leading global equity markets lower. News 7, Brazil and Argentina announce new trade settlement system. The leaders of Brazil and Argentina unveiled a bilateral mechanism to settle trade in their own currencies, reducing reliance on the US dollar. The framework is described as a first step toward a broader common South American trade unit, challenging dollar hegemony in the region. That's all for today's news. See you next time.